An epic moment today. Manny Pacquiao meets Mike Tyson. There's Mike Tyson and Troy. Here's Manny Pacquiao with John Singsong. Together, they are talking. Mike Tyson, Manny Pacquiao. Check it out.
Mike Tyson, congratulations. This is a beautiful gym. I hope that there's a lot of people will inspire to train here. Thank you. Congrats. Mike, congrats. Congratulations. Yes, beautiful. I'm here to support you. Thank you. Appreciate it, brother. Support you.
Idol yan sa ni Mike. Idol yan ni Mike. Idol po kayo dyan.
Manny Pacquiao is making his return, and this time he's teaming up with none other than the legendary Mike Tyson. As Pacquiao gets ready for his thrilling comeback bout against Mario Barrios, he's drawing strength from Tyson's raw power and fierce mentality. Two legends, one goal. This surprising partnership is shaking up boxing and sending a bold message. Pacquiao isn't just
no fighter looks more sensational than the Pacquiao looked the other night.
I think like Gennady Golovkin looks sensational.
He doesn't. That man don't make those moves.
Let me sneeze and slay Floyd Mayweather.
Then that shows that you're a neophyte in boxing. You know nothing about boxing.
Mike Tyson has deep respect for Manny Pacquiao, and it's more than just praise. It's real recognition from one of boxing's scariest icons to one of its toughest warriors. Tyson, who fought in a time filled with greats like Ali, Holmes, Frazier, and Foreman, understands true toughness. So when a smaller fighter like Manny earns his respect, it says a lot. Pacquiao, a natural featherweight who ruled 8 divisions, beat the odds, and that grabbed...
Give me, baby. 1, 2.
All right. Well, thank you, bro.
Tyson has always valued fighters with raw courage and fearless style. What grabs his attention about Pacquiao isn't just his quick hands or fast combos, it's his heart, his never-give-up attitude. No matter if the opponent is taller, hits harder, or is younger, Pacquiao never backs down. That unbreakable drive is what Tyson respects the most. For someone like Mike, who lived off fear and pressure watching...
You know, I respect it in the game. I don't know why I respect this guy, just because he's short, I think. But Pacquiao, he's brilliant. So that motherfucker with that, that's probably one of the few fighters besides you, Muhammad Ali, all you guys, Hagler, and all those guys and stuff like that. That little fucker right there, I never seen that guy back away from anybody. Tall, short, he goes in there and says, fuck it, okay, great. And he's still doing it today. I don't know, 40 years old?
Yeah, close to 50. Yeah.
So who's the other guy? Hopkins?
He's a great guy. He's a great fighter.
He should have retired a long time ago.
Tyson, who built his fame on bravery, sees something rare in Manny. Even in his 40s, Pacquiao still burns with passion. But here's the cool part. Years ago, young Manny sat in front of a small TV in the Philippines, watching Tyson crush opponents in the 90s. Back then, Tyson was Manny's idol. The way he walked in, the power, that fierce look. It lit a fire inside Pacquiao. He once said Tyson was a big reason he boxed. No gym, no gloves, just a dream fueled by Iron Mike. Now, all. These years later...
I watched by 1990s and I became a boxer.
That's what inspired me.
Adam Jenkins on the picture. Ballerin. Better half.
That full circle moment isn't just touching, it's legendary. But Manny's influence isn't only felt by legends like Tyson, it spreads across the whole fight world, including Joe Rogan. Joe has always admired Pacquiao, not just for his skills, but for his calm nature, always smiling, never rattled by trash talk. Then the fight starts, and bam, the switch flips. Rogan remembers how Pacquiao calmly brushed off Thurman's trash talk before their fight, even wishing him well. Then, demolished him with
He's an interesting guy, man, because he's so friendly.
Right.
You know, like Pat, even like when people are trash talking, he's like smiling, and then he gets in that ring.
Kick your ass later.
Different fucking dude.
Right.
Once he steps to that roast, like there's a whole different set of rules he's flying with.
Like, keep Thurman talking about he's gonna crucify him and stuff like that, and he just
don't say that. Yeah.
And got crucified.
Yeah, but he's.
I wish you the best too. Good luck in that fight.
What's crazy about him is his calves.
Yeah.
When you look
massive.
at that, they're giant. Yeah. They're like a thigh.
And I know the reason why, because in General Santos, the mountains that he runs and that steep hill, that's why they're so big. Because he's always constantly running the mountains. And I was doing the mountain runs with him.
Yeah.
My calves started getting bigger and bigger. But I understand, why his calves are huge. But he's always bouncing. He's always moving around.
Yes.
Like, he'll bounce for like 20-something rounds. He'll do his pads and he's jumping up and down. And he really is an unbelievable person, unbelievable athlete, and a legend of the sport. I think as time progresses, people are really gonna, appreciate his greatness.
Even Floyd Mayweather, known as the best defensive fighter ever, gave Manny his respect. There was a time when fans thought Pacquiao could be the first to beat Floyd. Though the fight came too late, Floyd admitted it. Manny was one of the toughest men he ever faced. Endless pressure, non-stop motion, and power in every punch. Floyd had to stay sharp the whole time. Floyd may have won, but he never downplayed Manny's ability. Pacquiao didn't beat him, but the fact people thought he might says everything.
No way in hell you 5'8". I remember you fought Pacquiao, they said you was 5'6" and a half.
You mean I beat Pacquiao?
You did whoop his. At any point, did a fighter ever make you feel like, oh, my legacy is in jeopardy?
No, but I've been in a fight. I get like in the third or fourth round, like, tonight gonna be a rough night.
Okay.
One of the best fighters I faced was Manny Pacquiao. He's a future Hall of Famer.
What the is it about Manny, man? He just don't stop coming.
But you know me, I keep my distance because he's real short. I keep turning him.
Yeah, but I think this, height doesn't mean anything because, short people.
Pacquiao, Mayweather. What would have been different had they fought, let's just say 5 years earlier? Because everybody believed they wanted that fight. We had been clamoring for that fight for 5-10 years. Had they fought 5 years earlier, is the outcome any different?
Let's just say it would have probably been a controversial decision.
Okay.
Like a closer fight. Mm-hmm. But I still think that Floyd probably would have pulled it off. I really do think so. Pacquiao at the time when he was coming up, when I fought him, he was literally a Pac-Man.
Right.
He was just chomping at me like there's no tomorrow.
Right.
He wouldn't stop. He wouldn't stop throwing punches. That Pacquiao probably gives Mayweather a better fight.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know if he wins, but he gives him a better fight.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you feel this fight happened a couple years?
A little too late. Mm-hmm. You want to see a back and forth, and you want to see, evenly matched on paper.
Oscar De La Hoya hasn't forgotten what Manny did to him. He believes if Pacquiao had fought Floyd 5 years sooner, it might have ended differently. But his own fight with Manny left the biggest impact. Oscar entered the ring weak and off, but right away something felt wrong. Manny hit him and he couldn't react. His timing was gone. Pacquiao kept coming, round after round. By round 7 or 8, Oscar's corner wanted to stop it. Oscar asked for one more round, not from pride, but hoping one punch might end. That's how dominant Manny was. Now, as he gets ready to fight again, the question is, will Barrios be another name on the list? Maybe Barrios thinks Manny's too old, but Oscar knows.
44 for that fight, and I was a skeleton. It was too much. So I knew in my head that it was over for me. The first round happened.
He punched me. I couldn't throw back. My instincts weren't there. My fast twitch muscles weren't there. And every single round, if you watch my documentary that came out on HBO called The Golden Boy, it explains to you what I was thinking, what I was feeling. I literally wanted to die in that ring. In the 8th round, everybody was going to stop it, okay? Or the 7th round. One of those rounds, everybody wanted to stop it, including the referee, the trainer. And I said, no, I want one more. Because in my head, I was thinking, if he punches me, maybe I won't wake up, you know?
But not everyone believes the comeback story. Promoter Eddie Hearn isn't sold. He thinks the welterweight scene has moved forward. New names like Jaron Boots Ennis are the future. As for Manny, Hearn doesn't see him beating Barrios. Sure, he honors what Manny's done, but that's all in the past. Hearn says there's no way Pacquiao wins. A bold opinion, especially with Tyson, Floyd, and Oscar praising him. But that's why this fight is so exciting. It's faith versus doubt.
The thing about the welterweight division for Boots now is he's the star of the welterweight division. Like, tell me another star in the welterweight division. There isn't.
Well, it depends if Pacquiao comes in and comes back.
Well, he's not going to beat Barrios, is he? So
there's a real possibility that he beats
there's
Barrios.
absolutely no chance in the world that he beat Barrios. I mean,
Barrios has beat multiple times.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Look, Pacquiao's still top 20, top 30 guy in the world. But he couldn't beat Mario Barrios. But listen, if he does, fantastic. But right now, the biggest name in the division by a long way is Boots.
147, kind of a weird spot right now. We're looking at Manny Pacquiao potentially facing Mario Barrios. What do you think of that fight?
Yeah, I think that, it's a very contentious subject. Like, people moaning about Manny Pacquiao. I think Manny Pacquiao is still good enough to beat most fighters in the top 20 at 147 pounds. He's clearly not the fighter that he once was. You're not going to be at that age. My problem is that he's been inactive for quite a long time. Like, we were talking about fighting him with Conor Benn maybe 6 months ago or a year. And every month or 3 months or 6 months that passes, you do become a lot older. So, I guess there's two questions. One is, should he be fighting again? And at the end of the day, if he's good enough to beat everybody outside of the top 20 in the world, then why not? But should he be fighting for the world title? I guess that's another question. In the commercial world of boxing, the answer is yeah, probably. In the ratings world and activity world,
Then there's Sean Porter, former champ and welterweight warrior. He's not here to knock Pacquiao. In fact, it's the opposite. To him, Manny already has 2 Hall of Fame careers. One as a young knockout artist, the other as the aging legend who keeps surprising everyone. For Sean, Pacquiao's loss to Yordenis Ugas wasn't a failure. It was a great goodbye. He faced the best when others wouldn't. But Porter thinks there comes a time to protect your legacy. Manny's place in history is safe. Maybe it's to
BK said, Brian Kenny said one of the most amazing things I had ever heard. I hadn't thought about it at all, and I don't think I even knew it until he said it. He says Manny Pacquiao has had 2 Hall of Fame careers. Yeah. And when he said that, my jaw dropped. We were on live, and my jaw dropped because I know it was coming. Yeah. And as soon as they said it and I heard it, I was like, you're right. Yeah. I looked at Keith, I said, yo, we're fighting for 1 Hall of Fame career, and this man has had 2 Hall of Fame careers. For you to go out like this, it's your Dennis Ugas, it's one of the elite fighters in the world, and what other old head out there is willing to take on or could take on one of these guys? You know what I mean? So I think it's that time, and I'd love for him to go back home and run for president.
So does Manny Pacquiao still have it? That's the big question lighting up boxing. Some say yes, others say it's time to call it a career. But this fight with Mario Barrios, that's the answer. Is Pacquiao still the king of the welterweights? Or has the new generation taken over? One thing's for sure. When that bell rings, the world will be watching. Tell us what you think. Are we seeing the end or a bold new chapter?